aquarianradio.com.
Aloha, this is Enki. You know me as Aquarius, and this is our age, the Sata Yuga. Time to celebrate with us. We have programs on all chakra tantra, love styles and relationship choices, counseling strategies and techniques that you can use at home. We have extraterrestrial radio where we deal with alienology, paranormal people, and we have an experiencers network. We have a section called Ancient Aliens, and the programs therein are Enki Speaks, Nimma, the Mother of Humanity, has her program, and we revise ancient anthropology. And most important of all, we have peace paradigms, because this is the age of peace, harmony and understanding, sympathy and love abound. No more falsehoods or derisions, mystic crystal dreams and visions.
This is Enki.
It is I who 300,000 years ago created your race, and 200,000 years ago, it was a lot of fun, made it even better with some of the pretty girls. And it is I who saved you from the flood, and it is I and my beloved Nimma and my son Ningashiga Thoth who are here to help you overcome my runaway son Marduk or Allah, my brother Enlil or Yahweh, and free yourself from all the supposed gods and recognize your own great potential. You have much to teach us, and we, Anunnaki, those of us from Nibiru, welcome full partnership.
And here are your hosts, Janet and Dr. Sasha Lesson.
Aloha and welcome to Aquarian Radio. Today's show is Enki Speaks. Our title for today's show is Enki Begat Noah. And my name is Janet Lesson. We're broadcasting live from Maui, Hawaii. Today is January 12th, 2013. I just want to take a little pause here and wish my father a very happy birthday. He would have been 93. He died in 1999 on Easter morning. And what we're uncovering here with our, exploring the Anunnaki is that they had physical immortality, basically. I mean, they probably died after millions and millions of years. So everybody who's died in some way has been murdered because our longevity has been shortened to these little brief twinkles in time. So anyway, God bless you, and I love you, Daddy, wherever you are. On the other side of the veil, wherever we go. So just wanted to honor him today. So thank you. And as I said before, I'm Janet Lesson, and this is my co-host, Dr. Sasha Lesson. Welcome to today's show.
Aloha. Actually, we have been tracing, following Zecharia Sitchin's organization of the tablets left by Enki, the great scientists from Nibiru, who, with his sister Nimma and his son Ningashita, created the hybrid race, the Erectus Homo sapiens that we are. So we've been tracing this whole history with Enki, and one of the most interesting things is that when Enki started having intercourse and making babies with the descendants of the first successful breeder, Adamu or Adam, and then with their children and with their children's children, Adapa could see that the humans were dying, less than a century, and Enki and the other people from Nibiru kept living and living and living. So Adapa, Enki's son, kept nagging Enki, please send me to Nibiru so I can have longevity, or he looked at it as immortality, like you gods, like you guys. And Enki sent him back to Nibiru, but with a note to the king, King Anu, not to give Adapa eternal life or long life because he wanted him to come back to Earth and breed. And so humans, as Janet pointed out, did not in general have this extreme longevity or immortality. And Adapa didn't get it. But when we get to the person we're going to be talking about today, Noah, whose Sumerian name was Zeasutra, this is a guy who, together with his wife, as we'll see, was really given immortality, not just, or at least extreme longevity, and we'll see that. Of course, Noah is the one that Enki. We'll see how special Noah Zeasutra really was, and that ultimately Enki and even Enlil, the commander of the gold mining expedition to Earth, chose as the breeder of the royal line. The breeder of the royal line. So he was preserved, and many, many, many years after the Great Flood, which Noah, of course, survived 13,000 years ago. We'll get into that next time. The king of Uruk, named Gilgamesh, actually encountered Zeasutra, and Zeasutra told him how to get some of the herbs that would have given him Gilgamesh, who's 3/4 Anunnaki or Nibiran, would have given him this extreme immortality. But the very last minute, in the apocryphal description, it says a snake grabbed the herbs that would have given Gilgamesh eternal life and consumed them. And so after Gilgamesh and Enkidu, his companion, had gone through all these adventures to finally get this stuff, the snake, because the snake was a symbol for Enki. And so Enki did not, for some reason, we don't know, let us genetically have this extreme long life, and wouldn't let Gilgamesh do it. But he did grant that, evidently, to Zeasutra. But that we're jumping ahead of ourselves. Did you want to say something, Janet? You look like you're going to say something.
Well, I thought that Zeasutra was actually given longevity by Enlil. There was some mystery there. And I think we'll get to that in the next coming chapters or two. We'll get to it when we start reading the book. I read the book several years ago now, so it's kind of hazy. So it's wonderful to reread it and remember what was said. But that's what I remember, but we'll find out.
Well, Enlil may have granted it, but it was only after, we'll see, Enki makes a certain confession about Noah. So I'm going to give you a little background, and then Janet will read from the Lost Book of Enki by Zechariah Sitchin. So, about 13,000 years ago, before the Great Flood, obviously, Enki, who was the chief scientist for the gold mining expedition from Nibiru, really was lusted for, a woman named Batanash. Batanash was the wife of one of Enki's descendants, a guy named Lumak. And Lumak, or Lumarch, I don't know how to pronounce it, Lumarch, I'll call him, was the workmaster of all the earthlings in Iraq, in the area that's known as Eden. And so whatever the Anunnaki wanted the human laborers, the slaves, to do, they would have Lumach put that on to them and have them to do it. Now, Enlil really hated us hybrids, and he kept trying to make the earthlings work more and more and more and eat less and less food. And the person that was enforcing all this stuff was Lumak. Well, the earthlings started to hate this guy, and they even started threatening to kill him because he was making them work more and get less and less food to eat and so forth. Okay, so Enki, who is in charge ultimately of all these, of Lumak and all his workers, said he'd better protect Lumak and Batanash too. So Enki sent Lumak to Marduk, that's to Enki's son in Babylon. So he gets the husband out of the way. The idea is that Marduk would teach Lumak how to build cities, and he did, and that's going to be important too. But in order to protect Batanash, Enki sent her to his sister Nimaz at the medical complex at Shurubak. Shurubak, that's the name of the medical center. And this is quotes, "From the angry earthling masses, protected and safe to be." Thereafter, Enki Nimman Shurubak was quick to visit. On the roof of a dwelling where Batanash was bathing, Enki, quotes, "by her loins took her hold, kissed her, his semen into her womb he poured. From this encounter, she bore Noah, or Ziasutra, as he was called." Now, when Lumash returned from studying with Marduk, he came back to Eden, quotes, "To him Batanash the sun showed. White as snow his skin was. Like the skies were his eyes. In a brilliance his eyes were shining." Lumash complained, "A son unlike an earthling to Batanash was born. Is one of the astronauts from Nibiru his father?" Batanash, in a parsing worthy of Bill Clinton, swore, "Oh, none of the astronauts fathered him." And then Lumach's father said, "Listen, Ziasutra is going to be a very important person," is what Lumach's father told him. The earthlings are going to follow him. He's going to lead to a new age. And so the father was somehow in on what Enki had planned to do, or at least sensed it. Now, Nimma really loved and took care of Ziasutra. She just, like it was, it was her brother's son, really. And Enki taught Ziasutra to read all of Adappa's writings. Now, Adappa had been Enki's special project. He had lived over 1,000 years, and Enki had educated him and had him write down all the stuff he knew. So Ziasutra was the most educated human being. There was no one even near him. Now, what started happening is Earth came into a bad time. This is around 13,000 years ago. The crops dried up, the earthlings starved, there was plagues that killed lots of people. Diseases overcame the humans, but Nimma said, "Let us the earthlings curing teach, how themselves to remedy." So Nimma basically is saying, well, look, we've got all this knowledge, let's teach them, and then they won't die from diseases. But Commander Enlil, who hated the humans, refused. He said, "Let the earthlings by hunger and pestilence perish." In his mind, Enlil knew that the Anunnaki were getting ready to leave Earth, that there was going to be a terrible disaster when the Antarctic ice sheet slid into the South Sea and caused over 120 days of vast flooding all over the Earth. He knew this was coming down, and that he was going to take the Nibirans back to Nibiru. They'd got the gold they wanted, and he would. So if starvation and diseases didn't finish the humans, as far as Enlil, who of course becomes Yahweh, said, okay, let's just let them all drown. Well, nothing grew, and the winds, the heat, and the drought haunted the humans. And then the earth started to shake, and it started shaking more and more and more. Enki asked the commander, "The earthlings, let us show the dredging of ponds and canals for surviving drought and famine." In other words, I want to show them how to survive, how to make sure that they don't die. But Enlil, the commander, sneered, "You thwarted my orders, and the earthlings were created. Marduk, your eldest, and the Agigi with their armies, and now they're breeding. The daughters of Adappa. There's all these astronaut humans, and there's lots of them. No ponds, no canals. For Marduk, no more soldiers. Let them starve. Every one of them. When we, sated with Earth's gold, return to Nibiru, leave no earthling subjects for Marduk. No force for him, the home planet, to invade."